Nowadays,
Yeah.
like when you're being called as Maarte, what are you?
Like you're normally like snobbish, mean, a little bit, kind of like, for lack of better words, bitchy. We kind of wanted to change that definition because for me, actually, what Maarte means to me now is actually like having higher standards.
Agreed.
Right?
Right. We really wanted to change that perception of people of what Maarte is. So this is gonna be the start of it. Oh my goodness! I can't believe this is happening.
I know. What's up, guys? We didn't even introduce anything. What's up, guys? My name is Carmela.
And my name is Mirtle.
And you're tuning to
the Maarte Life
Podcast.
Podcast.
Myrtle, I'm so excited. I can't believe we're actually doing this.
I know, I am very kilig right now.
I know, you can see it. No, we've been planning this for a while, but like due to COVID, like we had to like push this podcast like back like several months.
That's true. Well, planning in particular, I think we've been planning like almost a year already.
Yeah, technically like almost a year. Like this has been kind of like our brain baby since like what, January, December?
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
But like I feel like now it's just nice to actually see it like come into motion.
That it's really happening. It's surreal.
I know, it's insane.
I'm very happy.
No, I'm super duper happy.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit. I mean, guys, we're totally new to this, but we're so excited to be here and we're so excited to be chatting with all of you guys. So for those who don't know, like Myrtle and I kind of like teamed up together to put this brand Maarte and just bring it to life. So Myrtle, let's talk a little bit about like the definition of Maarte, just in case some people don't know about it.
Well, originally, right, a long time ago, when it doesn't have the negative connotation just yet, it's Maarte, art, right? So it is really artsy.
Right.
Yeah, but nowadays,
yeah,
like when you're being called as Maarte, what are you?
Like you're normally like snobbish, mean, a little bit, kind of like, for lack of better words, bitchy.
Yeah, sort of. Agree.
Or stuck up even, you know? Like
it's very difficult to please.
Right.
Yeah.
So we actually hear a lot of that in the industry that we're in because, I mean, I guess like, speaking, because Myrtle and I, we both model. So we both kind of have that kind of, I don't know, that attitude, that kind of like persona that we're kind of like stuck up. And we kind of wanted to change that definition because for me, actually, what Maarte means to me now is actually like having higher standards.
Agreed.
Right.
We really wanted to change that perception of people of what Maarte is. So this is gonna be the start of it.
Yeah, no, and I think it's just so cool how you pulled me into this and that you kind of like, you started this brand and that you really wanted to just kind of give it another definition. And I think that's super duper cool. And I think that a lot of the times when people, I guess it's challenging when people want to like change a definition of a word because it's like, oh no, you can't be you can't be Maarte but you can't be sweet. And I think that's totally wrong. Like I know a bunch of people who are quote unquote Maarte or like have high standards, but they are actually like the most genuine and like kindest people.
That's the best example is you, I think.
Stop it.
Stop it. Okay. Yeah, I think so because it's not even a negative. I'm proud to be a Maarte girl. You are proud to be.
Proud of
yes,
I love
totally.
That. I love being. I love it.
Yeah, right. Because Carmela, if you know her personally, you would feel intimidated. I think at first, right?
Okay.
I felt that before, but she is really sweet.
She's really. I was intimidating before?
Well, at first, when we just first met, I guess. That's how we see people. Because we have strong personalities.
Right.
I guess, like, if you're a model and you met another model, there's always that.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like models, you have to put up, like, a front. You know what I mean?
It is like that, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I think you have to put up that kind of, like, Maarte front. But I feel like it's so cool. But when you get deeper into it, like, when you actually get to know the person, you're like, oh, yeah, she's Maarte, but she's cool. Or she's Maarte, but she's nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With you, like, whenever, like, I watch your Instagram stories or, like, every time, like, I hear about, like, your worth ethics, like, you always, like, go hard at it. Like, you don't. Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like, we're actually working on another project together, and I see like how hands-on like Myrtle is, and she doesn't like settle. You don't settle for less.
That's also you.
Yeah, that is also me. And it's kind of like with this podcast. Like, we did not want to like half-ass this project,
Yeah.
which I think is so cool because it's so hard for me to find someone like that here. Because I feel like a lot of it's not bad being relaxed, but I feel like if you want to just kind of like level up, you want to like be around people who are Maarte, people who want to level up.
I really like what you said because just to tell you guys, when I started this, I don't really have any idea. So it wasn't even the podcast just yet, right? So do we want to tell them how we started this
You
first?
tell them because it started with you.
All right.
It's
so
really
to better
cool,
explain,
actually.
okay. So last year, it was a really, really dark place for me. It's really dark because like everybody experiences, right? So before pandemic, we were doing our thing, right? We were so happy doing everything that we want to do in our lives.
Gigs. You and I had gigs. We had several gigs together.
We rarely like rest, right? I would have bookings like 7 days a week. I would just have to stop one day just to rest.
Right.
And then after that,
she hustled, guys. Like Mirtle hustled really hard.
And then pandemic happened. You're not doing anything anymore, right?
Right.
So I guess everybody could relate to that. And of course, when you are not used to that, not doing anything, and you can't even go outside your house, you get sad, right?
You get stagnant, actually.
And then you get stuck in that emotion. So that happened. And then my partner, he noticed that I'm not doing anything anymore. I would go walk with him. We like walking, but I'm not as active as before.
Right. Or productive.
So,
maybe not active, but maybe productive. Because you are active
before.
Because you work out, you go out,
you're right.
Go out I think productive, right?
I agree. So, and then he sort of called me out that what are you doing with your life? You cannot blame this to COVID anymore,
That's
right?
a big question. What are you doing with your life? That's big.
Right, but I know I got hurt because it's really COVID. COVID happens and I'm blaming it to COVID.
Right.
But I don't really think about I have to take responsibility to it as well.
For yourself.
Yeah, because I can decide to do something else. Then hence we started baking.
Yeah.
Right? We started selling. And then he said you really have to focus on something that you really want.
And that you love, maybe.
That we love, right? And I love bikinis. So that's when it started.
That's
and then
with bikinis.
We'll get there. And then there, after that, I was thinking how am I gonna be able to make this work? I really should I just resell whatever I see online, Instagram, they're just reselling. Should I want that to happen? And then I thought I'll be able to launch it on my own.
Right.
And then I tapped into Carmela because I've been seeing a lot of her posts. She's really into content creation. I love her content. So I tapped into her. I asked if she could help me, and then she said, what did you tell me?
I said yes, straight up, because I've always wanted to start a bikini line. So kind of like how I kind of got into this picture. Same thing, last year, COVID hit and there were no gigs, right? And it was just frustrating at that point. And I was just like, okay, how am I going to turn this around for myself? I mean, I already knew that being a model wasn't, not that it's not a permanent job, but it's a very kind of it can just cancel, just anything.
Yeah, it's not gonna be permanent.
It's not permanent, and it's very flaky. There's always dates that are moving, right? So with this happening, all the dates had to change and all the gigs were canceled. So I just kind of had to say okay, I have to do something with myself. And I know that one of my strengths is content creating, or actually content creating and brand strategy. And this is where a lot of people kind of mix up brand strategy and branding. Branding is definitely the look of a brand, the feel, the vibe, the color palette, and so on. I do talk about that, but I'm really more about brand strategy. And I think that's where you kind of picked up on my content, because you knew that developing a brand is so much more than just its looks. And you kind of asked me hey, you're doing something about brand strategy I haven't heard about before. I want to create a bikini brand, but not just any regular bikini brand. I was like, yeah, that's exactly what you need to do now, with businesses, is that you can't just be another kind of commodity. You can't just be another option in the industry, because you're just going to get flooded. And that's when I was like, okay, I want to do this with you, because I want to create something out of this that's just bigger than a regular bikini line.
That's right. And when what she told me about it, I realized that, I cannot just be just another bikini line. It has to have a purpose. We should really put my standards so high as well, right?
You're Maarte, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. So I've learned so much about it. So that's why I really teamed up with Carmela, and we really want to start this
Yeah, kind of like this adventure together. And
Adventure,
I think
yeah.
it's been like, what's been like really cool is that I get to know you and like your work style a little bit more. I think that's a lot of fun. And I'm just so happy that you agreed to do the podcast with me. And
Yes.
like I said, because I told Mirtle before even like starting the bikini line, I was like, Mirtle, we really like, I want to develop like an audience,
Yes.
And I think through that, we'll be able to obviously like develop our bikini line and everything, but I really want to create like a really like well-rounded, loving,
Yes.
thriving community with you guys.
Right.
And I think that's what's like kind of really cool about this adventure with you, is that we get to meet like a lot of people. We're going to meet all different kinds of people,
Yes.
different backgrounds and everything. So I think that's like a really like plus for me
Yeah.
in this journey.
Right. So
Let's talk a little bit about how we met, because we talk a lot about bikinis.
Yes.
let's go a little bit more. So how did we meet, Mirtle?
Oh yeah, that was really an exciting story to tell them.
It is,
So we were part of this. Is it a bikini contest? Health fitness
bikini,
contest.
fitness and bikini, because we had to be in bikinis.
Yeah.
actually.
So we are apparently healthy people.
we are.
We are. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
Okay.
we are.
So we're just
Like-
gonna be ordering burgers and fries. Actually.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
after this.
our producer is like super excited.
Yeah.
We've been like waiting for the food, but several years ago, Mirtle and I were more like, I guess, diet conscious. Especially,
But we are more conscious compared now. We're just a little not relaxed, but we have the freedom.
Yeah, exactly. Because like before, back in our youthful days, right? when we
We're
were-
not old.
I know, we're not old. We're not
I
old,
won't say that I'm
never,
old.
I'm never gonna say that I'm old. But back then, I guess before, like when I guess we were at like we're still peaking, but like
Yeah.
at like our really like our peak in our modeling,
Yeah.
our modeling careers, we obviously figure was pretty important and everything like that. So we had to, I guess, obviously keep to a certain shape, size.
No, I am just kidding. But yeah, we want to make sure that we have that healthy lifestyle.
Right.
We still have.
Yeah.
that.
And then, so we joined this competition. It was called Century Tuna Super Bods. This was back in 2016. This was probably like my biggest break.
Me too.
That was my
Yeah.
biggest break. And it was just so cool because like never did I think like would we vibe. I mean, I vibed with everybody, but like I vibed with you.
She's super friendly. She would definitely vibe with everybody. Okay, so you don't say I can't believe it.
No, I'm serious, because I was normally the really like kind of like the quiet one, but I mean I'm the kind of person that like wants to get to know like people like
Yeah.
like as a collective. Like I was definitely I was definitely timid, but like individually
yeah.
like
Agreed.
I love getting to know like the person like on a much deeper level, and I was just so happy that you and I clicked really well,
Yes.
And then what else? And then we were pretty much, this competition lasted for about a month, and we
months,
were in bikinis pretty much the entire time.
Most of the time. Yes. So like the journey was really great for both of us, and I really didn't know that this is gonna happen, right?
Me neither.
Yeah.
No, I know we would like we would touch base like once in a while. We chat on
Correct.
Instagram, but it's just so cool that our love for bikinis
That brought us together. Brought us together.
So that's
Yeah.
kind of like, it's just really cool. Like we
Yeah.
started with bikinis and we're ending with bikinis.
I know. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's the thing.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. Now that's the
So
thing.
that's basically, and that's the vision, like where we want to go with the business. We definitely want to come up with our bikini line,
that's
and I
correct.
think it's going to be absolutely epic.
So you guys have to watch out for that.
But let's talk. I also want to talk a little bit about like pursuing your dreams, or pursuing, I guess, your purpose. I guess people call it their purpose, their passion, or their dream. I want to talk a little bit about that with you,
Yes.
because I feel like now with COVID, I feel like kind of like what we went through, we were stuck a little bit, and it was just like really hard for people to move forward, or they're still maybe using COVID as a wall from like
Yes.
stopping them from pursuing whatever it is that they want to do. I want to talk a little bit about how we didn't want that to happen, or even actually let's even like talk about like the industry, because now with the industry kind of being slow, I guess I don't want to say it's stopped, but being slow, we didn't want to let that dictate our
Future.
future, our trajectory, and how we excel. So let's talk a little bit about
Yeah.
how we moved forward from being stuck.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of like, I guess, deciding that this is really what we want to do. Our dreams, like what we like, what we love, is basically pushing us to reach that, right?
Yeah, I totally agree, because like this was something like if it didn't, obviously, first things first, like if the dream doesn't feel right to you, or if like the project doesn't feel right to you, obviously don't pursue it. But with this particular project, when you told me about like, hey, I want to start a bikini line, but I need your help, but I don't want to just create a regular bikini line, I saw so much more drive in that. I saw so much more meaning in that. And that's why I was like, oh my gosh, this actually like means something to me. I want to partner with you on this. It actually it had that deeper connection with me.
Yeah, it's funny. I want to really ask you, how did you think, like why and how you think of partnering with me? You could have just like started your own.
No, like that's the thing. Like as I mentioned before, like I want to surround myself with goal getters, and you're definitely one of those. Like I've been watching you, I've been seeing your stories. You definitely like, I know like last year was tough. Like, yeah, I know you expressed that, but it was just so cool to see that you're like, okay, it may be tough, but I'm not going to let that stop me.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I only figured out, I'm good at brand strategy towards like around July of last year. And I was like, okay, this is like what I'm good at,
You're really good.
And then when you told me like, and I saw you with starting your small, like kind of like reselling line, I was like, okay, like, she's doing something, like she's keeping busy. So I already saw that you had that tenacity and that drive in you. I know, big words. That drive in you. And I was like, I like that. Like, it's so cool that you're hustling. Like, it doesn't matter, like, if it's big. Like, for me, it doesn't matter if it's big or small.
Yeah, you just have to really start.
Yeah,
you just have to really start. So I guess what made us push forward with this is just, I also would like, I would also want to bring up that, every time I work with Carmela, it's like so easy. I don't have so much knowledge about starting this project, but it's because of her. Like, I am empowered to really learn more. I've really learned so much from her. So
thanks, Mirts. Like seriously, like brand, like that's the thing, brand strategy like was always like my passion. I love like digging deep into the core, because all the aesthetics to a brand can come later, right? I think people get so caught up like, I need this logo, I need this imagery, I need this color palette, I want it, I want my campaign to look like this. But if there's no actual like core, like as to like the reason like why and like where to begin, it's so hard to execute. Like, as I think I mentioned, like I mentioned a while ago, like it's so important, yes, to have a vision like with where you want to go, but like what's the meaning?
Correct.
Like what's the meaning of it all? And that's what I really like, kind of like, I kind of pounded you a little bit with that. I was like, let's go deep.
But we need to. Right. I sort of listen to you. Not sort of. Sorry. I listen to you on that part because you know better. And, this project basically opened me up as well, because before I would just like,
you get burnt out a little bit.
I won't depend to other people. It's just me. Yeah. So if there are a lot of people around me that would want to genuinely help me, but because of pride, I will be like, I can do it on my own. I think I will. But yeah, this opened up my eyes to you people who will genuinely want to help me. Right. So I should listen.
Of course. And I think it takes a lot of courage for you to ask, actually. Like, I think that is also like a very Maarte move of you to actually like let go of that and be like, no, I want this, and I want this to be done of like the best quality.
Correct.
I'm gonna talk to this girl. And I think that's like really noble and like really courageous of you to do that. And like what you said, like, remember, it's like what I mentioned a while ago, it's hard to trust like people, and everything like that. But I think because of the work that I've been putting out, and just me just kind of sharing like what I know about brand strategy and like how it's helped me, like, because my brand before Maarte was Good Karma. So for me, this is like my real life social proof that as to like why brand strategy is so important. I'm so excited that Maarte is like my big project for that. And I think it's just so awesome, because I do think that if you want to have like a successful business and everything, you need to start within. And then it's a lot easier to expand outwards.
Correct.
Use all the nice aesthetics, put it on the different social media platforms. Like, that's all fine. But if you don't have that core, it's so hard to kind of like move forward, And I think it's, aside from that, also having a vision of like where you want to go. Because from there, it's a lot easier to come up with the small steps in between, you know?
Correct.
And then let's talk a little bit about our setbacks, because I'm sure a lot of people are kind of like, okay, Carmela, Mirtle, you have like a really nice setup It's so perfect. I know it's perfect, guys. It's perfect, right? We made sure that's why that's us being Maarte. Like we're not doing this if it's not up to our standards.
Yes.
That's what I love about you. Like we're on that same level. No, let's not. Oh, it's
easy. It's easy to work with you because we have the same level of. Or we have that understanding.
Yeah, that we want it to be the best. Because a lot of the times people are like, oh, I'll just kind of like let that slide a little bit, you know, let that go a little bit. No, Mirtle and I were like, no, we want like to produce like the best quality content. So let's talk a little bit about our setbacks, actually.
Yeah. Well, COVID is still a setback.
Yeah, that is true. The biggest one was COVID because like even our producer, director, Draw, who's sitting back there so chillaxed, Mirtle and I are trying to ramble. Like COVID definitely was kind of like a big setback over here in the Philippines because lockdown has been crazy.
Our schedule has been pushed back many times, right? And I'm so happy that we're finally doing this now.
Yeah, as in like Mirtle was all the way like in Batangas in like one of our provinces, and it was just so, and like Wi-Fi glitches haven't like been helping out either, especially like during our Zoom calls when we try to have meetings. So right, so definitely that was like a setback. Another setback I feel like was just you know, I think the pressure kind of also got to us like, oh my gosh, like let's just do this, you know what I mean? But then there were moments like I know for sure I definitely was just kind of like doubting myself a little bit, like is it too much, is it too little, and things like that. That was definitely like more like an internal setback for me. Like I just wanted to make sure that it was like, you know, of standard.
Yeah. Me, I also have the fear of, am I contributing more to this project? Because Carmela is really like spearheading everything. Like what I said, I only know a little about like what we're starting, and definitely open to learning more. But I also have that fear every time, am I worthy to continue with this project? You know, because what am I contributing?
I totally understand like when you're just feeling like, oh my gosh, am I doing enough?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I feel like that's what like people like, you know, need to hear is that yes, I mean, I don't believe in it when people just say, oh, just start. You know what I mean? I really don't like it when gurus like saying, oh, go after your dream, just start it. No, I feel like with you, what I really liked about, you know, working with you, Mirtle, is that we actually planned, like we properly planned. I think that's like really important for people to know is that if you want to actually like go do something or like achieve a goal, like plan for it and then execute, because I feel like it becomes a lot easier. We did guys, we did so much planning
Right.
but now it feels so much more, but like now that we're here it feels like a lot smoother, you know.
Yep, it's easier.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. So with all that being said, this is our first episode, you guys.
It is.
And I'm just so excited for what's to come.
Yeah, they would definitely be hearing more from us, and we are just giving you like a hint of what's gonna happen in the next few episodes.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Anyways, guys, this is Carmela, and yeah, I'm so stoked. Mirtle, thank you. So, by the way, I just want to give a big shout out to Mirtle. Thank you so much for inviting me. Draw, thank you so much for being here. Our producer, director.
There's a lot of
She's
people
been
behind.
awesome.
Yeah.
She's been super patient. Oh, and what I actually, you know what, Draw? You know what I learned from you, Draw? I just love how perfectionist she is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Holy
if you could just see our set.
Yeah, I mean,
nobody's gonna move anything anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a bunch of BTS, and that's all Draw. All the wires, all the sound checks, the video. Oh my gosh, Draw! Like it's been insane. Yeah. Anyways, guys, this is Carmela.
This is Mirtle. Thank you guys for tuning in
to the Maarte Life. Yeah, and listening to the Maarte Life Podcast.
See you next time.